Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony, this is Akil, welcome to Inter Worldwide. Guys, it's the last one of the season and we thank you for sticking by us through all of these match previews, and it's going to feel really good because you know why? It's a familiar looking sight on the last day, we're just not involved in it. Akil, let's let all the other hyenas scrap for the top four while we sit back and lift the trophy in the middle of the Miazza, yeah?
Yeah, man. I can't imagine the feeling. It's going to be great. This match day just makes me feel a little emotional, a little sad that our season is about to end. But I'm really happy that what we went through this entire season. I mean, I don't even want to talk about the last 10 years. I just want to talk about this year. The things that we went through this year, how far we have come, and now we are here, finally getting crowned. It's the best feeling I can probably think of.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a pretty dead weight game. Although I will be interested to see if Rodrigo De Paul plays for Udinese. So we'll move into the game and then we'll discuss a couple of more important things, especially regarding that top four race. So there's 4 people that have joined us already in here. Thank you if you're one of those people. Do not forget to like the video and leave a comment. Akil, I'm just gonna go straight over to the Sky Sports predicted lineup because this is your B Tech Inter, bro. This is your bootleg version of the Ragazzi. And yeah, it's just going to be funny to see. So let's go straight over to it right now. Where have we got it? We've got Proprio Formazione for Sky Sport. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you call the true training park side of Inter this season. Radu in goal being predicted with D'Ambrosio, Ranocchia and Bastoni. Gagliardini, Sensi and Vecino in the midfield with Hakimi and Young as your wing-backs. If there was Damian there in place of Hakimi, it'd be your true B-side. Pinamonti and Lautaro start at the top. Akil, any issues with this lineup, or are you going to be pretty happy to see fresh faces all around?
None whatsoever, man. I'm happy for these players to get a start. I'm happy for this team to go out there with this lineup. I think they're going to have a ball, and this team, almost the same team, played against Sampdoria and they thrashed them. So this team is going to go out there, prove a point, play without any pressure. I'm really happy to see Pinamonti getting a start. I'm really happy for Radu to get a start. It's really, these guys have stuck with the team this whole season. They've kept their head down. I mean, talk about Ranocchia, man. What a player he is. What a lad he is. Danilo, D'Ambrosio, sticking around for the team, coming in whenever needed. And I think this is going to be a great game for them. Great game for Vecino and Gagliardini as well. So yeah, really happy with this lineup. No complaints whatsoever.
Yeah, I've got no complaints either, man. I think you've got a few players here that just might be playing their last game for Inter as well. I don't think Ashley Young is staying next season. He'll be going back to Watford. I dare say one of Gagliardini or Vecino could probably be sold as well. And you just don't really know if your, Pinamontis, D'Ambrosios, Ranocchias or Radus are going to be here next season. We haven't been exposed to much in the media as of late, Akil, have we?
Yeah. No, yeah. These players, I mean, obviously the future is very uncertain for a lot of these players. We know about Ashley Young. He's made his point very clear that he wants to, end his career at Watford. So he's definitely going to depart. And, obviously we need to clear some wages. So if that means Can you hear me?
Go on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, one of these two, Gagliardini or Vecino, they're probably going to leave. I was reading about Danilo D'Ambrosio was also in the news for possible departure to Genoa or some other team. So it'll be interesting. There will be a lot of movement, outgoing sales. We need to clear up that wage bill. So wherever they might go, I wish them all the best. They've stuck around for this team for a very long time, and I'm very happy for them.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's move on to the rivals. Well, not really the rivals, just our opponents for this match. Musso in goal. What's your opinion on him, and do you think he's a worthy Handanovic replacement? Yes or no?
I like him, and Inter is the best team in Italy. I don't know what to make of that right now, but he's a good goalkeeper. I wouldn't mind having him within our ranks.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is good. Back three, Bakal, Bonifazi, Samir, who has had a very good season, to be honest. Not too many threats in the midfield besides Rodrigo De Paul. and Okaka and Pereira up top. Pereira can be a little bit of a threat, to be honest, but it's all about Rodrigo de Paul and what he is going to get out of this game and what kind of money move he's going to get as well. So let us know in the comments where you think he's going to move to. Akil, where do you think de Paul's going to end up next season?
Very good question. He has a lot of teams following him. He had a good season. He's probably had one of his best season for Udinese, or of his career for that matter. I think he has 9 goals and 9 assists so far, and that for a midfielder is pretty good. I mean, considering that the price tags of every midfielder is super high right now, so a lot of teams are monitoring him. Can't guarantee where he's gonna go. I wouldn't mind him at Inter either. So it'll be interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on this guy. He's definitely has played a big part this season for Udinese. So good for him, and we'll see where he lands.
Inter Island says, must win for Inter. In my opinion, if we do, we'll have beaten every Serie A team at least once this season. That would be nice, but you can't really call these games must wins, bro, because we've already put the title away. It's done. Finite. I reckon Milan is going to make a sneaky bid for De Paul, but I don't think they're going to be able to pay the full thing. They're going to try and do the same deal that they did for Tonali, which could be interesting because if they miss out on top 4, Akil, you know what? The game's dead rubber. Let's talk about what really counts here. Like, if they miss out on top 4, Milan, I don't think mentally they're going to be able to recover from this, bro. It's going to hit them like a ton of bricks, to be honest. If they miss out on Champions League again, they can't redeem both Tomori and Tonali, in my opinion, to start with. And I just don't think they've got the squad. I don't know, man. Zlatan's going to get injured again. There, I said it. He's not going to be able to stay fit. They want to pay him another $7.5 million next season. They have to win this game, bro. They're fighting for their near future against Atalanta.
Yeah, no, it's baffling, to see this. But yeah, Milan, I mean, I think it's a do or die for them if they really want to, continue with their run. So I don't see that happening. I've always, had my say that, Milan is going to crash out of top 4. So kind of hard to see. And then, if they miss out, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. They'll have to sell out a lot of their players. I don't see them making a big splash in the summer. But yeah, I mean, one of the areas that they really need to work on is that midfield. So if they try to make a sneaky move, try to add a player to get De Paul, they might try to work that deal out. But we should always keep an eye on that too. I mean, we have a lot of players that we can dish out too. So if we can muster up a deal, if Marotta can come up with some magic that he used to, we can get De Paul, and we have good relation with Udinese. So yeah, I wouldn't mind him at Inter at all.
Yeah, 100%, man. This top 4 race is going to be big. Milan, Atalanta, Juve play Bologna, and Napoli, Hellas Verona. The situation is as followed. Basically, 3 points for Napoli and Milan put them in the Champions League, leaving Juventus in 5th. If Juventus were to win their fixture and either one of those teams were to drop points, they would fall below Juventus. So it is still a must-win for all 3 of those teams. I will be cheering on my inner, very small Napoli and just hope that they dispose of Hellas Verona nice and quickly. What do you think is going to happen in that Napoli fixture, man? You think Gattuso runs riot? Yeah. Verona look fatigued, bro. Verona have actually played more fixtures than any other side in Italy, I think, in like the last 8 days or so. I think they're the only team to play 3 games.
Yeah, they're out of gas. Verona is out of gas. They're not going to be able to sustain this physically. So yeah, I see Napoli coming through in that game for sure. Gattuso already has a game plan in his mind. The team is looking good. I think they'll make it through.
Yeah, me too. But the real big question is, because I think Juventus will comfortably dispose of Bologna. The real question is can Milan beat Atalanta? It's going to be so tough. The Atalanta that I thought would turn up in the Coppa Italia didn't turn up in the Coppa Italia final, unfortunately. But I don't know, something tells me this Atalanta side might just bury this Milan side. And as funny as it will be, I still want Milan to sneak this last 4th spot. What about you?
Yeah, just for that purposes, yes, I wouldn't mind that. But beating Atalanta, it'll be a huge task for them. Atalanta on a good day can really take out anybody, and Milan is I don't know, man. It's going to be a tricky game, but I think Atalanta will make it through. But yeah, definitely, Milan really needs to step up if they really want to cement their chances. I mean, they really have to step it up.
Big time, man. I just don't see how they're going to be able. They really should have won that game against Cagliari, and it just reminded me of that year where we had to qualify against Lazio, when we could have done it against Sassuolo. We could have gotten into a really good position by beating Sassuolo, but nah. Oh, it was the worst. It was like bring your kid to work day, because they all did that stupid thing where they like brought their kids to the start with the toys. I don't know, man. But yeah, I can't wait to watch that game. So in my opinion, I think Milan-Atalanta ends in a 2-2 draw. I think the hearts are broken for the Milanese. I think Juventus beats Bologna 3-1. And I think Napoli wins like 4-0 or 4-1 as well, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree more. Juventus will have no problems taking care of Bologna. I think they're more keen. They look more hungrier. And Bologna is definitely a side that can be really steamrolled on. So interesting, heartbroken for Milan, but it is what it is. I mean, they blew their chances. I mean, they had their chances. They couldn't take care of Cagliari, and that really says a lot. So yeah, let's see, man. It's going to be an interesting game day for sure.
It will. Mohammed, if you're right, bro, if Milan and Juve go to the UCL and Napoli bottle it, I will be pissed off. One of those teams, Milan and Juve, need to miss out to put the cherry on top of what has been a perfect season, to be honest, man. Okay? That's all I need. So don't take the cherry away. Let's talk a little bit about the Oak Tree investment, man. What was your thoughts on the injection of capital there? We can't really ask this version of our president. Bootleg Steven Zhang is in the chat. I think Milan will win, actually. But yeah, what was your thoughts about the Oak Tree injection, mate?
No, I was really happy when I read that. And the official statement is still pending, so we'll know the final details when they come to light. But initially and overall, I'm very happy with this. I think it's a really slap in the face to a lot of our doubters and a lot of people that have been doubting Inter's finances. So it has come in a really good time right before the season ends. So now the players, the coach, and everybody around Inter know that, there is this investment that has come through. So what it does, basically, it gives them the extra boost going into next season, thinking about now this team is going to build on this. They're going to have a decent transfer window because they have this capital available to pay off their debts, to pay off the installments. And then the next season is going to be more, there's going to be more stability. Obviously, the final details are yet to be made public, so we'll see what the little contingencies are for this contract, for this deal. But I think overall it's a great sign, and it has come in a really, really good time, right at this moment when there was a lot of uncertainty around Conte, a lot of uncertainty around different players. So this deal is really going to help solidify Inter's position going into next season.
Yeah, well said. Well said. More importantly, though, speaking of like the market and whatnot, it'll be a market that we're still looking to offload wages rather than sign players. So without going into too much detail, how many players realistically do you think we can sign with this injection? Because for me personally, this injection should just be used to sustain and just make sure the club doesn't go into the red.
Yeah, no, that will be it. I don't see this 230 or 250 million coming in and we're signing off a 100 million player. No, that's not going to happen. This money is going to go into the infrastructure. It's going to go into the current installments and the debts we have. It's going to pay off a lot, because you have to understand, this last season, we didn't have a single spectator in the house. That's a big chunk. A lot of other sales were down as well. So this deal is going to help cover that cost. It's not
realistically, when do you think we can start filling stadiums again? Because we'll get 1,000, 2,000 fans in there tomorrow.
Yeah, I think something around that. But I what I was reading here, obviously locally in California, I was reading that a lot of sports arenas are allowing spectators to come in. So I think that wave is going to reach Europe as well. And after all the vaccines are being done, they're going to allow more and more crowd coming in. So if we start with 1,000 or 2 here this match day, I reckon about going into September, I think we can have about 50% capacity, which is big. Coming from 0 to 50%, that'll be huge.
Yeah, I think so too. Well said, man. I'm just hoping that it establishes a clear vision for Conte, Marotta, and the players for the next 2 to 3 seasons, because we've got all the chess pieces are aligned, bro. We've got all the positions are full, and we don't need as much as other clubs in Italy need. to succeed on the pitch. We've got the management, we've got the training staff, we've got the backroom staff, we've got the assistant coach, we've got the director, we've got the strikers, the midfielders, the defenders. We've got it all. So all we need to do is make sure that the club's vision is in line with, how, just attaining these assets and these awards. Yeah. I want more trophies. I want more trophies next season, bro.
That's very true. And one of the things I forgot to mention with this injection of cash, what's going to do is it's going to prevent Inter from selling any big names. We always talk about going into transfer window. Oh, we have to raise funds, so we always end up selling one of our big players. So this time it's going to be a little different. What I can see from this injection is that, we're going to take care of a lot of our debts and installments. So we'll be able to keep the core together that we always talk about, that how important that core is. Keeping Lautaro and Lukaku, Barella, Hakimi, and all the defensive three. It's so important. And this money, this injection will help us in that aspect big time.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. Guys, thank you very much for joining us for this short but sweet match preview. I'm looking forward to the game. It's an 11 p.m. kickoff for me on Sunday night. Akil, what time for you in LA?
I think it's 11:45 in the morning or close to noon. But yeah, I'll definitely be watching that game because I really want to see the after party, man. I really want to see us getting crowned. I can't wait for this game to get started. And just so you guys, have a surprise for you and for all our viewers. I bought this shirt just for this game day. Thanks to Mo for inspiring me. Yeah, I had to get it, man. When I saw Mo and other players and people, wearing this, I was like, I gotta get this. So yeah,
it looks good, man. I'm sure I'll be getting mine soon. To be honest, bro, I won't be able to wait much longer. Marco says Alexis is on a high wage. I like his contributions off the bench, but he can probably be sacrificed. Don't know how many teams will want him on his current wages, though. You are right. I hate to agree with you, but you are right. He is on an exceptionally high wage, and although his contributions off the bench are still, on that world-class sort of level, he is a player that can be replaced, but you'd have to spend to replace him, if you know what I mean. He doesn't have a transfer value. We're not going to make anything too much on the books for him. I know he's got a high wage, but it might just be about, I think he's on 7.5 mil. Is that right?
Yeah, somewhere around that, 7.5.
Maybe if he would agree to take a pay cut even down to just 6, it would make a big difference, man. But I don't think he will either. Look, Alexis won't be at the club longer than another 1 or 2 years. So I'm happy to just enjoy him for one more season. What about you, Akil?
Yeah, no, I definitely keep him. And, paying him 7.5 mil is better than paying somebody a $15 million price tag or $20 million for another player and have him on the books for another 3 years at 2 or 3.5 mil. So financially, it makes sense to keep Alexis in because we didn't pay anything for this guy, and he provides good energy to the team, and he's a big part of that that team. So I'd happily keep him at 7.5 mil, no problem, for another season or two.
The comments always seem to fly in when we're about to call it, but that's all right. Alex C, as a fellow Inter and Italian fan, what's your feelings towards legends at the club you hate, like Del Piero and Buffon, who are Juve legends but Azzurri legends as well? Okay, first and foremost, I don't hate those two players. I would never, ever hate those two players. I'm a fan of those two players, and I'm happy to admit it. Azzurri fan since I was 4 years old. Watched World Cups with Del Piero and Buffon in it as a kid. The 2006 World Cup is still to this day one of the highlights of my life. Del Piero's second goal against Germany, Buffon's world-class saves after world-class saves in that semi-final and in that final. They've done what they needed to do at their club the way any legend would have to do at their club. I don't hate them by any stretch of the imagination, bro. They are legends to me and always will be. Akil, you?
Buffon is a legend, man. I always have these flashbacks of that final of 2006 when he made those crucial saves. I think one of the prime reasons Italy won was because of Buffon. So he's a legend in my book. Yeah. I mean, along with Del Piero and so many others. I mean, obviously, when they play for different clubs, they have to represent the club and they get paid to do that. So there's no hate in that aspect. But, legends, forever legends, no hate for them whatsoever. I mean, there's so many other players. Totti. Growing up, I always liked Christian Vieri. I know some of you guys don't like him, but when I saw him first play, I think it was in 2002 World Cup, and I just love the guy, and he's a big part of the reason I followed Italy in that time. So a lot of different players that have a lot of different meanings and a lot of different areas of impact to every other perspective.
For sure. Would you sell Sensi to Fiorentina for 15 mil? No. If Sensi can leave for 25 mil, the same amount of money that we paid for him, I'd like to make a green tick on him, plus Valenza Weiser. He's not a player I would be sacrificing for that sort of money, especially if he's fit enough. What about you, Akil?
No, if he's fit, I keep him.
Yeah.
There's no reason to sell. I mean, especially at a loss, no, there's no way. If somebody was come around like about 25, 30 mil, I'd think about it. But I'd keep him. He didn't have a very regular season, so he deserves another chance. And obviously we're gonna need depth going into next season. So he's a good player. He's a good player to have in the squad.
We need a young, hungry striker as one of Lautaro or Lukaku might leave in a year or so, says Vitor. Possibly, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I think more so we're just looking to send the message that for the next couple of years, we're still building this project. So I don't think we need to we just need that vice Lukaku, to come off the bench. And in my opinion, it's going to be Edin Dzeko. I just think all the signs are there already for like a real sneaky free transfer. Vidal has to be kicked out. We can reword that. Vidal has to be sold 100%. I agree there. What else do we have? If Napoli win and Atalanta draw, then Napoli would jump Atalanta into second, right? That would have an impact on UCL pots. Yes, Atalanta will go for the win, in my opinion, because they will get more money as well by finishing second. A good 8 million more, in my opinion. I think I read it. It's about 8 million more. And if that's the case, a club like Atalanta will definitely want to win this game and not just going to sacrifice a game worth 8 million for nothing. Akeem says sell or free. Keep Federico Di Marco. I'm pretty sure he's owned by Hellas Verona, bro. There is a clause in his current contract with Verona that says if he wants to go back, we can buy him back. We've got a buyback option, but technically he's a Verona player, so we wouldn't be selling him. We'd be looking to just get him back. And I think everyone's in agreement, Akil, as well, when I say, yes, he's done his time. He's shown over the past 2-3 seasons that he's more than ready for a chance. If we can give one to Biragi, if we can give one to Dalbert, we can give one to this fella. Yeah, Akil?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I think you're right. I remember covering his story last year. I think there's a buyback clause somewhere in his contract. So yeah, I mean, he's had a decent time at Verona. Every time I see him, I see a player that has improved. If we can go with players like Biragi and Dalbert, like you mentioned, I'd see this guy coming into in the mix, be the backup. He has good quality. He's a good left boot. He's good from set pieces. Can cross the ball. Can run up and down. Yeah, definitely would love to have him.
Yeah, Eros says that sell Sensi for either Castrovilli or Vlahovic. Now you're talking a little bit. So like this is it's going to be a dirty mercato, man. Like it's almost like bar. Like you're just trading. And I think that's a good shout, selling him for like a Vlahovic or a Castrovilli, because especially if we're going to keep both Brozovic and Christian Eriksen, that makes a big difference. With you've got your Brozovic, Eriksen, and Sensi, who are your three creative outlets in our midfield. Sensi probably the most creative, with Eriksen at a close second. But obviously we've got to keep two of them, so it's tough. I don't know. And with Castrovilli, if you do bring Castrovilli in, when's he starting? When is he starting? Is he starting ahead of Barella? No. Is he starting ahead of Brozovic? No. Can he play that third spot? Possibly, but you'd like someone more of a Sensi or an Eriksen, in my opinion. What about you, Akil? It's a tough one, to be honest.
It's a tough one. I know that Vlahovic had a great season. I don't think he's going to want to come to a team where he'll be a second option. I think he's young and he wants to be a starter somewhere, so he's probably out of the question. I would love to have him. He's a great striker, has similar qualities that we can use. Castrovilli, he's a good player, but I don't see him breaking into the starting lineup. I think Conte would trust Eriksen or Sensi, or if you get somebody else, probably somebody of his choice would be a better fit for this midfield. But yeah, I mean, any other team that we can strike out a deal and put one of our players in the mix, say if we're talking about Rodrigo De Paul, and we can include a player like Gagliardini in that mix, just like how when we got Handanovic, if you remember, we sent them, I think it was Faraoni, as part of that deal, and we got Handanovic for like 12 mil net cash. So that's a good deal, right? We can strike something like that with a team like Udinese or Fiorentina or any other team, but we have to really identify a player that Conte wants in that midfield, because I know there are a lot of different players out there. There are a lot of different qualities that we see as fans, but I think Conte already has some characteristics in his mind that he wants to bring into this midfield. So I think it'll be important to see, which player he identifies and which player we actually go after.
Well said, man. There's 17 people in here now. Make sure you like, and if you keep liking and commenting, I keep going. That's always the golden rule. Indra Hari says, Brozo, crypto to replace Pirelli. Maybe, bro. That guy is nuts, as Muhammad says. Not right in the head, I swear. He's an absolute putz C word, man. I can just tell what he'd be like to be around, honestly. From the way Oriali talks in his interview, it seems Conte and co just want clarity of a plan for next season. It's not about money or transfer market. Yeah, 100%. That's because they're not stupid. They're looking at the squad, looking at the rest of the teams in the Serie A, going, oh yeah, we can do this again with the same squad right now. Give me like one player pretty much, and we can keep going again. It's just about clarity and the plan forward. What about Tammy Abraham? Is he good? Maybe Inter can loan him from Chelsea. I've also heard that Chelsea are looking to loan him out, so don't be surprised if we're thrown into the rumors. But for me personally, I've seen him play a few times. I've seen him. He just doesn't impress me too much, but that's just maybe because I don't watch him consistently. I'll ask Akil on that as well.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen him much regularly, but I think what he lacks is that physical aspect, the physical nature. If we were talking about somebody to bring in as a vice Lukaku, we need somebody who can be more physical. And a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, we mentioned Simi from Crotone. How he has similar characteristics to Lukaku and has that physical aspect and that finishing as well. So maybe he could be a good player to look at if we were talking about something to get somebody on the cheap. There are a lot of players, again, it all really comes down to like what Conte is asking. And, when we talk about clarity from the management, I think this is also one of the things that Conte wants to discuss with the team. Like, which players can we identify? Which players can we bring? What is our budget? What is, how can we strike a deal with a certain team and provide, maybe if you have to offload players. So it's going to be a very busy, it's going to be a very, scrappy window, to say the least, and but it'll be interesting. We'll definitely keep an eye on it and see what goes down.
100%. There's that boy. There's the brother, Uncle Shama. Much love, boys. Much love to you. Big return coming soon from Uncle Shama. 100%. Keep your eye out, guys. Steven Zhang, again. Thoughts on Wijnaldum? That rumor died down pretty quick. I don't know if it's going to pick back up again. Maybe it's one of those things that's been tied up in the background for a while. 19 people now in this video. Make sure you like it. Akil, Wijnaldum?
No, I don't see that happening. I was reading some rumors about him going to Barcelona. Koeman likes him. Those rumors died down pretty early. I don't see that happening for us. He won't come cheap. It won't be a great move. I don't think so.
Nah. This whole second striker thing is the vice Lukaku is where we need to look at and what we need to discuss. Giroud or Dzeko for me would be fantastic. I'm happy to go for experience, bro. Fuck age. I don't care. Sorry for swearing. Like, honestly, if it's Dzeko or Giroud, I know I can wake up without worrying if we need to rest Lukaku or if he's injured for a game or two. Yeah. He's a beast. He won't get injured that often. But he deserves to be rotated more. We can't run him into the ground again because he looks so tired towards the end of last season, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And between Giroud and Dzeko, I'll put my money on Dzeko any day. Just because, we get to watch him because he's in the Serie A, because, I follow Serie A more. But, even the last game that we played against Roma, he looked so alive. He nearly took that shot from the left foot, in a matter of instance like that. He has that moment of that spark that we need. And he's got the experience. He's got the caliber. If between them two, I'm going with Dzeko for sure.
Yeah, me too. He's just that sort of player. Like, if he was to come off the bench as well, I can guarantee you he'll score goals off the bench. Like, putting him on against a tired defense, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see us just be that gutsy team next season that keeps grinding out all these results because we've got the quality there. Not a matter of when, it's a matter of if Inter's going to grab the winning goals next season, bro. So we've got one more comment I think we'll go to before we wrap this up. In my opinion, Oak Tree money just solves liquidity problems for Inter, paying wages, delayed transfer payment. It does not mean Inter can spend a lot of money next Mercato, but good news is Inter can hold the key players. 100%. That's pretty much what we've been saying. And we've got the squad. We've got the best squad in the league, in my opinion. And if we can just tweak that wage bill a little bit, Keep all the stars, sell the dead weight. I don't mind talking a little bit about the dead weight for a sec if you'd like, Akil. 8 million for João Mario. Bro, you could give me 8 Happy Meals from Macca's for João Mario and he could be on his boat over there. I don't care.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll send him a thank you note with that 8 mil. No problem whatsoever. Done. Go ahead.
Raja Nangolan as well, another midfielder. So
Yeah.
there's 2 more midfielders that would be in the side if they weren't being redeemed. Raja Nangolan with Cagliari surviving. I think what I read, and it is actually quite clever if it goes down this route, is that Inter will actually terminate the contract with Raja. Therefore, he's a free agent and he's free to negotiate a new wage with what's it called? Cagliari, which will probably be around about that 2 million mark anyway, rather than the 4.5 that he's getting now. They'll probably even pay a little bit less. Also, I read somewhere that in order to cancel out the last part of that wage, they will also waive an extra 1.7 million in bonuses that we owe them for Barella, because in the transfer there is a clause that we owe them that if Barella wins the Scudetto. What is your thoughts on that nice little package deal?
Oh yeah, but 100%. This is the type of deal that's going to happen a lot this transfer window, and we're going to be making a lot of these tiny deals, a lot of these contingent deals from different players, and getting Raja off the books would be huge. Obviously, not just this season, for going into a couple of seasons in future. I mean, it clears a big chunk, even though it's a matter of few millions, but they go a long way. When we talk about Mario going for 8 mil, that's huge. That's 8 million in influx. Get him off the book. It's huge. So any that way that we can get rid of will be a huge plus, and then it'll add more cash flow to the team, and we can address the more needed situations, or the left wing back situation, adding another midfield situation, or vice Lukaku, or thinking about a goalkeeper. So we can address those situations once we get these players off our wage bill.
100%. Good morning, Tim in the Gold Coast. Good evening, Will from the East Coast in the US. Lovely to see the worldwide represented. I'm just happy to get rid of some of that dead weight, because our wage bill, pardon me, has the potential to actually look really clean. It has the potential to look really good if we can just really nut out a few of these dirty parts of our wage bill, like your Nainggolan, your João Mario, and a few others as well. Get Vidal off the books, pretty much for the same reason why we didn't keep Godin around. I'm pretty sure everyone would agree you wouldn't be crying if Godin was still a part of your squad this season. He's still got a lot to offer. But it is what it is. Mohammed says Gagliardini and Vecino. Any chance of getting cash from these two? Honestly, Akil, what would you value them on the market at the moment, considering they've both got, I think, 2 years left on their contract? Gagliardini has 3.
I think Vecino is probably somewhere between 15 to 18 mil, but Gagliardini around 10 to 15. I mean, there's nothing more. Nobody was going to offer more than that for any of these players. I mean, if you talk about a couple of years from prior, Vecino would be probably around 20. But since obviously with time and everything and his injuries lately, and he hasn't had much playing time, so his value obviously has dipped. But yeah, that's the max.
Who would you keep over the two? Tim says Vecino.
I would keep Vecino just because he's a little more clutch. He can offer a little bit more than Gagliardini. I do rank them very evenly. Don't get me wrong. I have all the respect for Vecino for whatever he's done. He's come up clutch for us many times. But just overall quality, man, I just, I don't think it's there for neither of these guys. But between them, I'd let go Gagliardini.
Me too. This is a fantastic comment from Indrahari, and we're going to end it on this one. For once, Conte should look hard at our Primavera kids and find some jewel to complete first-team squad to compete in 3 competitions. Yes, we have a very strong first 11, bro. This is a great time for you to sell Vecino and Gagliardini and Vidal and Nainggolan and João Mario. You go into next season with Brozovic, Barella, Sensi, Ericsson. That's fantastic. And you go and buy your another player like your Rodrigo de Paul or your Castrovilli with that money. There's five midfielders set. Then you get a couple from the Primavera to come up as well. That would be an ideal situation for me. What about you, Akil?
Yeah, 100%. And that kid, we talk about that kid, Aguome, I think, from that side. He showed some decent. He had some decent time. I think in the preseason and early on in the
He
last
did.
season. Yeah, and
Yes, he did.
he looked good. I mean, he obviously, he needs time, but he's the type of player that you can use as a fourth or fifth string midfielder. And Conte, I think, needs to really look deeper, into. I think that's one of the things that the management is going to ask of him to do is, look into our younger squad and see which players can we bring up. Esposito had a good, in the beginning, he was,
He might be playing in Serie A. He might be playing in Serie A next season for Venezia. Anyway, they've only got one more leg to go, one more qualifier to go, and they'll be up.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be great for him to come back into Serie A. And if he's, I haven't followed him much this season, but if he's had a good season, I mean, I don't know how what's his contract is like, how much of a loan time he has left, but if he comes back, I'd keep him. He's also shown some good signs. Obviously not the quality at that level yet, but these kids can groom. And Conte is a type of player that is a type of coach that we've seen that he likes to groom players. He likes to mold these players into playing Conte ball. So I'd love to see some of these young players come in the ranks, and it's good for the club. It's good for our finances. It's an overall great deal if any players can make it through.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. A few more comments before we finish off. Yes, Will, Spalletti is off our books starting next season, bro. You are on the money with that there. Look at Bayern. They still sometimes play like kids, yeah, but they've just got a stacked lineup, and let's not compare the Serie A to the German league. It's a completely different playground. Guys, we ended up with 22 people as the highest number in here. If you're still one of those people, leave a like on the video. Akil, it was very good to speak to you again. Thank you for joining me on so many match previews this season. Are you ready to do it all again next season, bro?
As always, and it'll be my pleasure to come back and do it again throughout the whole next season. I enjoyed my time. It was great to chat with you and all the fans for showing love and support every time. This season again. It was a long, hard season, and I would just tell you guys to enjoy this match day, relax, watch the after party, enjoy with your family and friends, celebrate, be safe, and we'll definitely be back again next season and competing again.
100%. From all of us here, Forza Inter and Forza Inter Worldwide. Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao.
Brilliant. All good, man.
Nice.
Just let me end the broadcast. I haven't done that yet. We're still live. But yeah, bro, it should be an interesting last final day. Should be very